Well, you can see I've been busy. I started more leather sheaths for the classics, and these are for the scouts. There's a couple of left-hand sheaths in there. One of those is for Kevin, which I'll hopefully get that done in the next week for you, Kevin. In this drawer here are my sheaths, which are partly finished now. Just need a bit of forming and finishing applied to them. So I'm getting on with those. For you on YouTube, this will be your first sighting of my new neck knife design, which I'm calling the Jacklaw Wasp. I've got 6 here that I've built, but I'm working on another 6 more. Some of these have been sold, and 2 or 3 of them are going to the UK Knife Show, together with another batch of 6 that I'm currently working on. They haven't been stropped yet, but you can see the design of the knife. It's a conventional, well, I think it's quite a classical sort of shape, really. I'm very, very happy with it. It's a lovely knife. Each one's been Rockwell tested. You can just see the little dimple just there, and the logo's been stamped in. And they're 3mm 59 HRC. They come with little sheaths to allow them to be attached to a lanyard and then held upside down. So you wear them something like that, and then just flip it open and take the knife out. So that's the Jacklaw Wasp. I've also just finished this knife for John R. It's a right hand sheath with a dangler, no fire steel. Sorry about the noise in the background, that's the oven running. This is in stabilised walnut, 3mm stock, 59 HRC triple tempered blade. So that's it, John. Just needs a final strop, and that's ready to send out. Mosaic pins and red liners. So there's, look at the knife that side, and there's the internal radii, all nicely clean. Mosaic pins. So that's yours, John. I'm also working on another one of these for Steve from Folding Firebox Stove. And if you're watching this, Steve should be getting yours finished sometime this week. This knife I finished for Tim F. Now Tim, I haven't done the sheath yet. I'm still working on that, excuse me, still working on the sheath. Should be ready this week. Knife's more or less completed. There's a few little snags I got to tidy up. Bevel hasn't been stropped or anything yet, so it's not quite there, but it's not far away. This is the wood you sent me. It's come out really, really nice. I'm quite happy with it, actually. This is Ambonia burl, which Tim sent me, and I've stabilised it, and it's took the stabilising really exceptionally well, and it's just a lovely wood. You can see the figuring in that. This one's got a tapered tang and black liners. So I'm working on your sheath now. Your sheath would be in amongst those that I showed earlier in the cut out form. So that's that, Tim. There's a look at the, as I say, it's not quite finished yet. It still needs a bit of work doing to it, tidy it up. So that's Tim's knife. And lastly, Nick J. I'm working on your wood you sent me, Nick, the wood from New Zealand, and I've had just absolutely no joy with it whatsoever. No matter what I do to it, I've got a few of the pieces here. I've tried several times to try and sort this wood out, and it just doesn't take to drying very well, and it's splitting all the time. It just splits, and you can see some of the shakes I'm getting through the wood. I had high hopes for this piece of wood, but unfortunately you can just see in there it's cracked, and the crack runs quite a way in, and I just can't use it. and I think it would be a mistake fitting this to your knife handle, because if it's splitting so easy now, it might well do later. I don't know how well it will take stabilising. I'm sure stabilising would sort it out, but it just keeps cracking and I can't get it dry enough for the stabilising process. So I think it's called Glycera wood. It comes from New Zealand. It seems to be very, very straight grained. I don't know no more than that about it. So Nick, you're going to have to choose another wood, I'm afraid. I'm very sorry about that. It's not often I can't work with a certain material, but that's one that I would advise not using. You can see how readily it wants to split. Just make good firewood. If anyone's got any information about this wood, hang on a sec. Yeah, if anyone's got any information about this wood, I think it's called Glycera. It's a native of New Zealand, and I'd be interested to know. In stock, Nick, I've got some walnut, I've got some Makassar ebony, which is beautiful, I've got some oak. Don't keep your fingers crossed, but I might have a little bit of desert ironwood, and I might have a little bit of Mexican desert ironwood. What else have I got? Possibly a bit of maple as well. So those are the choices of woods that I've got. The desert ironwood doesn't need stabilising, it's already quite stable and you can't stabilise it anyway. The other woods will all be stabilised. So perhaps you can just drop me a line and let me know what you want fitted to your knife, and I'll build your knife up accordingly. In the cellophane of these knives have all been pre-heat treated, and they're just waiting for scales to go on. These were tapered tangs, 4mm, tapering to 2mm at the back. Obviously they're a way off from being finished yet, but all the metal work is almost done on those. And these in this packet are 3mm. Straight tangs. Also awaiting their scales. All been triple tempered and Rockwell tested to 59 HRC. Out in the workshop, and I've got another batch of 6 wisps that I'm working on. These are going into heat treat very soon. Logos are stamped on the one side, so they'll be heat treated in the kilns. And then in the background there are four scouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 classics. So will be heat treated at some point this week. I am having a mega big push at building these knives and getting these finished in time for the UK knife show, and also for a few existing orders. Any knives that I've got left after the UK knife show, I'm either going to offer them to people on the waiting list, or I'm going to sell them on the website. I hope to raise enough money from the sale of my work to enable me to extend my workshop, because I really don't have enough space in here. I have absolutely no free surface space, an area for assembly or anything. I've got to do a lot of my assembly in the kitchen, my level work in the dining room. It's just it's not the easiest and not the best. Sorry about the noise in the background, someone's decided to start up a 2-stroke engine of some sort. But anyway, just panning along the workbench here, you can see there's the grinder, and you can see the space that I've got. And I've just finished a batch of knives, hence there's a bit of a mess in here. And there's my 2 drill presses over there. And of course in the foreground here is my bandsaw. And I've got to walk round it. I mean, the gap there, you can just see that, you know, it's a squeeze. It's quite a squeeze. There's the bandsaw, there's the drills. So you can see I'm squeezed into this tiny workshop to do what I want to do, and having no free space is really it's just not good. I've got plenty of space to extend the workshop, which is going to alleviate this problem for me. I am shutting the workshop down for about 2 to 3 weeks from the 1st of July, so I'm working like a madman until the end of this month, and I'm shutting the workshop down. I'm going ahead with the extension. All the dust is in here because I haven't got proper extraction. I've got a dust extractor which isn't working at full capacity because it keeps clogging. I've got a cyclone to add to that dust extractor, but I haven't the space to put the cyclone on at the moment. So hence this is all going to come together when the new workshop is here. And I'm going to shut the workshop down for about 2 to 3 weeks. I'm knocking through and going out and building on the side of this workshop. It's going to give me about 80% more room than what I've already got, and I'll be able to have a clean room. A very good friend of mine, John Lane, he is an air conditioning engineer, and he's going to help me install dust extraction, ducting, the cyclone, and an air conditioning unit. So I'm absolutely over the moon. It's not going to be cheap, you know. But I got to think of the long term and my health, and I'm really looking forward to the future and getting this sorted out. I've also got another grinder coming at some point in the very near future, I think. So that's about it, really. So all I can say for now is many thanks for watching. I may not upload another video this side of the UK Knife Show. I may try and upload videos of the workshop being revamped, and then because it's always nice to look back on how it was and how it will be, so I might well do that. So I think that's about it. I think I've tidied up every loose end in this video at the moment. So with that, I'll say many thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the knives, and hope to see some of you at the UK Knife Show. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a brilliant venue. It's at Wootton Under Edge in Gloucestershire on the 28th of July. Sorry, June. So if anyone of you can get there, then that'll be brilliant. So in the meantime, many thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.